up? What up? Hello, hello. Can you hear me? I think everybody can hear me. Anybody in here? All right. So we're gonna do this. This. Oh, there we go. Now you can hear me. No echoes and. All right. I'm good. It's 8:30. Did it go live? Let me just double check. Yep. All right. So people are seeing me. The world can see me. So today, I guess no, not today. What up, Dan? I'm sorry. I'm paranoid now from that last time when I had those that little echo or whatever. But what up, Rob? What up, Dan? Welcome everybody. Welcome in. I'm kind of a little discombobulated tonight. Got a little late start on the setup, but I'm here. But I think what last Thursday, Wildlife and Fishery finally came out with their finalized speckled trout stock assessment, and not much change from that Louisiana Sportsman article that had came out like a few months ago. But so that's not good news. So that basically means that there are going to be some major changes to the way the state, the Wildlife and Fisheries manages the speckled trout population. So I guess if you wanna translate that, that means that the limit, they're probably going to lower the limits. They're probably going to make some big changes to the way the fishing limits and how many fish you can keep and stuff. They haven't really released any information on that yet, though. So, but we're gonna just talk about how, like, what we're gonna talk about, what the paper says, what the report says, what it means, and we're gonna try to just go through it, break it down, do a little news. Then what else I got going on? I took a fishing trip yesterday. I felt like I did horrible, but we caught a few redfish. Um, we had intended on going to catch speckled trout in the Lake Bourne area, but we had some technical difficulties. So pretty much everything that could go wrong on my boat did go wrong. We first launched, my boat was acting funny. It was the motor was like surging and it wouldn't. I don't know. It wasn't running right. So we dealt with that. We were able to MacGyver a solution, and we figured out that I had a little air getting in one of my under the cowl fuel lines. So we got a hose clamp, tightened that up, and so we got that sorted out. So then we got to the first spot, dropped the trolling motor. Trolling motor pedal isn't working. I don't know what happened with the trolling motor pedal. It was working when I put the boat up, and so sometime in between when I put the boat up and when I took it out yesterday, something broke on the trolling motor pedal. Don't know how that happened. Then I went to turn my fish finder on and the fish finder wouldn't come on. So just yesterday was like a cluster. But what we ended up doing was uh, we tried to salvage the day by doing a little red fishing. We never got out to the trout fishing areas areas where we wanted to go search for trout. But we launched at Fort Pike, my favorite launch. And we ended up started fishing in the intercoastal. Lake Bourne was kind of rough yesterday with that southeast wind, which kind of surprised me. But early in the morning, Lake Bourne was pretty rough. So we ended up getting kind of scared off of going out, and I wasn't super confident in the motor. So we ended up ducking back in the intercoastal, and we fished along the intercoastal and picked up a couple reds up in here, but the water wasn't quite clean enough, not what I wanted to see. So we ended up going a little deeper into the marsh, over towards Alligator Point, and we went back in the marsh up in here somewhere. I don't even remember where exactly, but there's a lot of ponds in here with grass. Like you can see, this pond is like solid grass. Look at that. That's crazy. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but we went in one of these ponds like this, and we saw a few reds. We caught a couple reds in here. My buddy Joan, he was on board. Joan stops in here every now and then. He was the hot hand of the day. He ended up with think he caught 3 reds. My brother caught 2 reds and a bass, and I ended up I had hooked one, and then I broke off on that one, and then I landed another smaller red. None of them were huge. They were all like 17, 18-inch fish. None were huge, but so yeah. So we ran around this little area for a bit. I built a little confidence in the motor. So then we shot across Lake Bourne, and we went to explore just this shoreline up in here, and we caught a couple more reds along this shoreline. This is where I hooked my 2 reds along this shoreline. I think Joey caught another one there. We ran back up into these lakes, but the water was dirty and dingy everywhere. So I still think there's like effects of the spillway still lingering out here in Lake Bourne. The water is it's kind of dingy. But yeah, that was the trip yesterday. So I think we ended up all in all catching 5 or 6 reds and a bass and a couple catfish, but no trout. But yeah, so anybody else been fishing? Anybody went fishing over the weekend? Anybody caught some trout? I haven't caught a trout in like 2 months, I think. Trying to think back to the last time I caught one. It's been since like July. Late July, I caught a trout. What's Kevin talking about? Yeah, 25 speckled trout is a lot. Considering that every other state is like what, 10 or less? I think you can keep 10 in Texas. I think Mississippi was like 15 maybe. I'm not sure what the regulations are in these other states. I never fished them. Texas is like the only other state I fished down on the Gulf Coast. And I think you can keep like 5 in Texas. And it's like a 15 to 22-inch slot in Texas. So it's like really restrictive out there. What up, Joe? Kevin been bow fishing in Myrtle Grove in the daytime. Wow, the water must be real clean down there then, huh, Kevin? This is a good time of the year to start sight fishing. The water gets clean, and the conditions, the sun is usually out. It's like it's been out like crazy lately, the last few weeks, and it's usually pretty calm. So yeah, late summer is a good time to start sight fishing. Dan has 7-inch trout. Man, I would have paid good money for a 7-inch trout yesterday. That would have made me so happy to hook up on a trout. I've been hearing some reports of people catching trout in the Lake Pontchartrain area, so I know they're there. It's just probably hit or miss. Shot a 12-inch sheephead and 2 reds. Wow, that's pretty cool. He's bow fishing in the daytime. To me, that seems a little more challenging than doing it at night with the lights. I know a few guys that have been spearfishing the south shore of the lake, catching shooting sheephead. There's a ton of sheephead along the lakefront right now. But yeah, reds in Myrtle Grove, you're just shooting them, huh? That's easy. You don't have to worry about them getting lockjaw or anything. So you can keep 6 trout in Florida. What's up, Gustavo? Gustavo coming in with the Florida facts. You can keep 6 trout in Florida. That's very strict. So even if they limit, they lower the limit. Even if they lower the limit to like 15, it's still gonna have like the most liberal limits in the Gulf for speckled trout. In a slot, so it's a trout. It's a slot limit for trout. Mitchell went to Delacroix today and yesterday caught redfish but no trout. Yeah, I guess it's still a little early for those trout to get inside. We're gonna need a couple cold fronts to really blow through to really move the masses of them. But I remember in years past the trout would start to move in. Would start to move in around this time. What's up, Francis? Getting ready for the IFA championship? B Ram, what up, dude? Go follow B Ram on Instagram. Check out his music. But yeah, all right. So let's get into this. We got a nice little crowd. Let's so wait, there we go. So Department of Wildlife and Fisheries released the final what do they call this? The assessment of the spotted sea trout in Louisiana waters 2019 report. Post review final version. So they finally released this. This is like a long, like scientific paper, 73 pages. I didn't have time to read it. I probably might try to read it over the next couple of days and figure out what this really saying and read it for myself. But yeah, so I read this summary though. I definitely read this summary. This is over on GulfCoastCouncil.org. This is written by um, a guy in Louisiana, Catch Cormier. He does a lot of fly fishing, but I think he actually attended the meeting and was able to talk to some of the people who were involved in getting this report written and who were involved in actual decision making. So um, basically, what it says is back in March, the assessment, the assessment came out in Louisiana Sportsman, and people were going crazy. And basically, what it says is the report summed up in bullet points is um, we've been overfishing trout based on the population since 2014. So for the past, was that 5 years now? We've been catching too many as recreational anglers because there's no commercial fishery for speckled trout. We've been we've been catching way too many. We've been catching too many speckled trout for the population. And also something that's really interesting is that the majority of the trout that were caught were barely over 12 inches. So the population is not only declining in numbers, but it's also declining in size, which is interesting. I don't know what would cause that, but um, so yeah, that was interesting. What else are they saying? Recreational land is at the lowest level. The spawning stock, so that's your mature fish, are at the lowest level, which correlates with the small fish being caught. And then female spawning recruitment is at its lowest level. So female spawning recruitment is the wait, let me see what y'all talking about. Does any one person need 25 trout? No, of course not. If I keep 25 trout, that's like three. Well, it depends on the size of the trout. But if you catch like solid, 15, 16-inch trout, that's like 2 gallon bags of Ziploc bags, like full to the top where you can't fit anything else in there. That's a lot of fish. There's no way you're gonna eat that. Like a family of 4 wouldn't even eat that much fish in 3 meals, 4 meals. Yeah, that's a good point too, Kevin. If you're catching bigger fish, you're gonna get a lot more meat off of them. That's true. But here, all right. So let's see. So yeah, you can see some of the graphs here. This graph is the female spawning stock. So I guess this is the number of females in the population. Um, this is the target line where you want to be. The yellow line is the target line, which is the line the average. That's the average amount of trout. So what year is that? 2011, I guess. 2012 was the last year that we were above average. And then after that, since then, we've had a steep decline, and it's been declining since like 2007. Looks like maybe it's been on a steep decline, and but yeah, since 2012, we've been below the average number that they wanted a female speckled trout that they want to see in the population, which is scary because the female trout are the ones that are actually producing the new trout to replenish the population. And this graph right here is the spawning potential. So this shows you how many trout are capable of spawning, which is it looks similar to the other graph, which is expected because you're measuring. This is just the total population versus the females, and everything is just trending down, which is not good at all. Not good. So, all right, wait, what's Joe saying? The most disgusting pictures I see are when some charter captains post pictures of limits 3 5 pound trout and they do it multiple days in a row. Yeah, I mean, down here in Louisiana, we're greedy and we have a reputation and we have a mindset that a trip isn't successful unless you catch a limit of trout and you got 100 fish in your box. But I think we need to change that mindset. That mindset of catching limits is a thing of the past. If we're gonna be responsible anglers, we got more people fishing than ever now. The population is growing. More people are able to access the outdoors. We're able to have better boats and fish more often. People fish a lot more often nowadays, and we're more educated and knowledgeable about where the fish are. So we just gotta be smart and not be greedy. I think that's the key. We can't be greedy and really, to be honest with you, if all these people who fish, if they really cared about the fishery, they would limit themselves. They wouldn't even need to be a wildlife and fisheries and stuff like something like that. We would be able to police ourselves if we really cared about fishing. But a lot of people think that if it's legal, then you can do it. But I don't agree with that. A lot of times I limit myself to 10 trout, and I've been doing this, but partly because I'm lazy, I don't want to clean like 100 trout. And there's been times in the past when I got greedy, I was on a good bite, catching the limit, and then once I get home, like, oh man, what am I going to do with all these fish? I don't feel like cleaning them. But yeah, I mean, you got to make people do stuff. People aren't going to change, and they aren't going to go lightly. And that's going to be the sad part is when they finally do come out with these with the new limits and the new rules, people are going to fight it. People are going to fight it so hard because they've just ingrained in them that they can keep 25 trout or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's just a mindset. I mean, if you go back, 20 years, 30 years, maybe a little further than that. People will keep bass and catch bass and keep bass. Even the tournaments. The tournaments used to be, catch and kill tournaments, all the big bass tournaments. And I guess there was a group of mindful anglers and people who really thought about it and figured out that it was in the best interest of the bass fishermen and the industry to keep those big fish in the water. So yeah, it took time to probably persuade people not to keep 5-pound bass. But the bass lobby was able to convince people and persuade people that it was cool not to keep them. So yeah, that's what we got to do in Louisiana. We gotta change the culture to where people want to take that picture and throw that big fish back. And I don't know. I've been trying to advocate for that. I probably haven't been as good as I can be, but I have a goal. I want to catch a 10-pound trout in Louisiana, and I see so often that people catch a 3-pound trout, a 4-pound trout. It's immediately going on the ice. It's immediately going in the water. So I mean, it's not going back in the water. So yeah, we gotta just change the culture. Nah, I'm not gonna lie though. A marsh bass, if you catch you a marsh bass, it tastes just as good as a speckled trout. I keep a marsh bass any day. I ain't throwing none of them back. I could keep 10 of them. They plentiful. And I think that's also gonna be a something we need to change is we don't have to go and pound the speckled trout and fish until we catch 25 speckled trout. There's so many other species in the water here. We have down in Louisiana, we have so much variety. We got bass, redfish, drum, like all the different species that are edible that people like to eat. We need to focus more on fishing, like for variety and spreading out the impact. What up, Trey? Yeah, they say you're not supposed to eat fish that often. I don't think people really do eat fish that often. I think they catch a lot. I think most people who catch fish, they go and catch them, put them in the freezer, and then they sit there for months at a time until they decide to pull them out. And another secret that nobody really wants to talk about is a lot of guys who fish often and catch a lot of trout. They probably like selling them and doing other things with them. What's up, ASAP? Yeah, we need to start eating hard. That's what we need to do. We need to start like a movement that like hardheads are the best fish in Louisiana water. So then people will go out and like fill the ice chest with hardheads, and then they leave all the speckled trout for us. Asian people eat fish 7 days a week. I mean, it depends on what kind of fish you're eating. Um, I know they say that like top of the food chain predator fish are not good because they're high in mercury. Right. Yeah, there you go. Dan breaks it down for you right there. So if you have a fast growing fish, it doesn't have time to accumulate mercury in its body. That's a good strategy. Yeah, white trout grow fast. I know that. White trout ain't got no mercury in them. I love it though, man. I like people who like to fish. Yeah, that's shoe pick took over the water. Where you at? Where you fishing at? I got an idea for some shoe. I need to catch some shoe pick. I mean, people probably caught all the bass and ate all the bass. That little catch and release mentality for bass doesn't apply to Louisiana either. Our freshwater fishermen keep bass, but I guess maybe they still throw the bigger ones back. So also in this article, though, Catch he also goes over what some good things he says, some positives from the research and the time that they put into studying this. He says that the wildlife and fisheries believe that they know what the cause of the decline is. So if you know what the cause is, or if you think you know what the cause is, you're able to put practical solutions in place and try to fix the problem. So we might as educated, the scientists and the people who are educated on this might be able to, reverse the process or reverse the decline. But it's going to take time. It's going to take changes from everybody. And but White Kitchen, all right, okay, I know that's at. I'm gonna have to go check it out. But let's see here. This is what he was saying. Overfishing definitely has an impact. Um, Wildlife and Fisheries says that they have seen an increase in fishing licenses that have been sold over the past decade, and he's saying that people are also fishing longer and fishing more often than they fished in the last decade versus the previous decade. So they're saying that more people are fishing and they're fishing for longer periods of time. So of course we're going to catch, if you fish longer, you're going to catch more fish. But also climate change is also having an effect. Whereas they're saying that between night, what are they saying? Since they've been studying this and keeping the data, they started in 1982. So they had two events from 1983 to in 1983 and 1989 where the temperatures were below freezing for at least 2 days, and that usually coincides with speckled trout cold kills. Right. So, but since 1990, we've had so-so winters, but we've also had a lot more events where it's been cold for a couple days, where we've had those steep drops, like when the redfish stack up in Wyclosky and Myrtle Grove and stuff like that. It seems like that is happening more and more frequently, and that is definitely has a toll on the speckled trout, and that kills them because when they're all inside in those holes, the temperature drops. That's going to take out a large a large portion of the population. So basically, he also says that he talked to one of the guys who are in charge over at the Wildlife and Fisheries, and um, he says that they're going to take significant and controversial action, but the action that they take is going to be significant and likely controversial. So they're definitely going to change something. They're definitely going to change it, and it's going to be significant. They say. So yeah, so that's what's going on with that stock assessment. So pretty much everything they said that Louisiana Sportsman article was all true, and that was like the official stats and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have to take care of our fish if we want to continue to catch them and have a world class fishery like we used to. We grew up with. Yeah, there's so many factors that go into the ability for us to catch more fish. I mean, yeah, you got people who got new big boats, fast boats, electronics, and just a general knowledge increase and people getting better at fishing in general as a whole. definitely has a toll on it. But I don't think that us as anglers is really what caused the decline. I think we can definitely have an effect. We definitely have an effect, but I don't think we really are impacting the population. It's more the environmental factors, the land loss, the erosion, coastal erosion, and the like they said, the cold kills, the fresh water, the salt water, like all that stuff affects the population and the habitat. And really, the key to having a good population is having a habitat that can carry that population and sustain that population. So yeah, so when Lake Pontchartrain froze in 1989, redfish and trout population took some years to get back to normal. Yeah, man, I remember. I guess when was that? Like 2011, maybe they had a real cold freeze, and they were like fish that got frozen up in the lake. I remember there were like white trout floating up, um, reds and specks. And I don't think really the white trout population in Lake Pontchartrain hasn't rebounded since then. There's not that many white trout in the lake anymore. But there was some big white trout that had floated up that year. It was like 2011, 2012, something like that. You could walk the banks. There were like some nice, like 2 foot white trout. I didn't even know they were that big in there. But you would never catch. I would never catch them that big. Yeah, but who knows? I don't know. Who knows? It seems like the science is there. Like, um, I know there's like the redfish were in danger at one point from overfishing, and now you can't go anywhere without catching a redfish. So uh, there's only good that can come from putting stricter limits in place. It's not going to hurt the population if people catch less fish. It's only going to be good things to come. So I don't know. Anybody else got anything to input? Anybody else want to got anything to say? Anybody disagree? Anybody think I don't know. Seems like everybody here is in pretty much in agreement. Anybody want to all right, where we go? I'm lost. Sorry. Yeah, Joe, that's probably what it was. The that Mr. Go was pumping a lot of salt water and giving a lot of fish a clear path to get into Lake Pontchartrain. Yeah, if they will open up that, I don't think they're ever going to do that. I heard some talk though. I did hear some talk about them putting in a gate there where they could open and close it, but who knows when that's going to happen? That might be 2050 before they do that. Yeah, like I said, we went on that trip yesterday. Joe, we went. Oh, the mic volume dropped a bit. Let's see. Hold up. Hello. Is that better? We went on a. Is that better? Can y'all hear me? We went on that trip yesterday. We caught redfish, but we didn't keep a fish. We threw them all back. Joe and tagged a few. I think he tagged 3 or 4 of them. We threw them back. Like we didn't really need them. It's not like we're fishing, we're hungry, you know, we're not fishing for food. We could go to the McDonald's, or Colin could go to Little Caesars and get him a pizza. We don't have to eat fish. It's not like we're fishing for survival. Yeah, I plugged in this headset. Yeah, I missed the old days where they had like the Mr. Goals open in the South Shore. South Shore was good for fishing. You could catch trout and reds and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's for the better. So we're gonna have a guest report now. We got my buddy Davis Hayes. He was telling me about a fishery that's accessible to everybody that he's been fishing. He's been fishing the river. So we're gonna get him to. He's gonna call us up. And we're gonna talk to Hayes and see what he's been doing on the river. This is a fishery that that's like so accessible that I never go to. I always forget about it, kinda, and end up going to Lake Pontchartrain. But this is an awesome place to fish. We're lucky to have like a big the river like this here.
Call from
Hayes Davis Fishing.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello.
Hey Jeff, how's it going, man?
Hey,
Long time no see.
What up, Hayes? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm all right. So you gonna?
Yeah, man. We took a ride out in the boat trying to go catch some find the speckled trouts out around Lake Bourne and the L&N a couple of weeks back. No go.
Oh, really?
Water was choppy. Whitecaps coming in, so been trying to stick with trying to catch some catfish over there in the river, man. We've been catching them anywhere from 10 to 60 pounds here lately. You know, a lot of fishermen going out there by the fly. They're over there catching them. One guy was out there, man. He caught 25 or 60-pounder, 3 catfish, 5 minutes apart.
Wow. Yeah, I always hear people talking about fishing the fly. I've never been back there. Most of the time when I fished off the West Bank, like Algiers Point, and
right.
further south down that way. But yeah, that's.
Well, the river has dropped so much now since a couple of weeks ago that they have that sandbar out there is where a lot of people are trying to get to. You know.
Right. So
yeah, man.
So does it seem like they're sitting on that sandbar out there?
The people are going to the sandbar. They're casting out in the middle of the river.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times, depending on where your bend is in the river, you could have a current going out and going up at the same time.
Right.
You'll have two different.
So you want to kind of get into the eddy of the river where
eddy of the current. Right.
Where it's not moving as fast.
Right. Most of the people are fishing right before you. On the way out, right before you go across the railroad tracks, they're fishing down there, right next to the building. You know, you have to go down the rocks.
Right.
That, it's a nice place.
It's a nice spot. Yeah, I that's where I always hear people going. Most people I talk to who fish the river, they like that. They like that area. So what?
Yeah,
what type of bait you been using? What type of rigs you been using?
Now you asking for the secret.
Yeah, come on, let's hear the good stuff.
Believe it or not, man, the only thing I'm doing is taking out a chicken legs or chicken thighs, cutting them into pieces, put some onion powder and some garlic powder on them. That's the secret bait.
Onion powder, garlic powder. Yeah, that sounds like something I would eat. And you can bring a grill with you too, and you put it on the grill while you get bait and and lunch.
We've been thinking about that after sitting out there for those long days, fishing, not eating anything.
Yeah, that's funny.
But no, that onion powder and that garlic powder seems to be the ticket.
Really?
Since the chicken seems to stay on the hook a lot better than anything else, you know. Other than that, man, I mean, just let it sit up for at least 24 hours before you try to use it. Let it marinate a little bit.
Oh, really? So you let the flavor of flavor of the garlic soak in.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh,
man. You
okay.
gotta have it. You gotta have it where it's gonna be in there for a while.
Okay. Cool. So
You know, you don't want to put it on there.
what size
Go ahead, sir.
what size baits are you what size weights are you using? I'm sorry.
I'm only chunking out maybe 2 ounce at the most.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
I'm trying to
Okay.
let I'm doing a Carolina rig, and I'm just letting it drift with the current on the
Oh,
bottom,
so
slowly but surely.
you wanted to move on the bottom.
I wanted to move. I wanted to move a little bit. You
Okay.
know, most people out there are using between a 3 and a 4 ounce,
Mm-hmm.
but they want theirs to stay stationary. But it's also going to depend on how much current you're in anyway. You know,
Right,
it's gonna determine
right.
whether or not if you're even going to move at all.
Right. So if you're in the eddy,
And
you don't need as much weight versus if you throw into the main
no.
channel of the river.
Oh, you throw in the main channel, you better have about 5 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not much gonna hold you there.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
So, man, catfish out there biting. I mean, and they're not. We might not be catching them, 5 minutes apart, but we're catching them. We got enough now in the freezer for a fish fry.
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's cool, and that's accessible to most people. You can drive up to the river and cast a line, and it doesn't take
Absolutely. I mean,
much.
Only money it's going to cost you is a couple of dollars for some chicken, some
Right.
gas to get to the Audubon Zoo, and that's it. And
Right.
your time.
Right. Yep.
It's not gonna cost you anything.
That's it. That's the way to go. Then you don't have to be too fancy. You don't have to have to do too much to catch fish in New Orleans, in Louisiana, right?
Oh, definitely
Yeah,
not. Definitely not.
right.
Especially not at this time of the year.
Right.
Trout are hard to find, hard to catch. Not all of us can get out there in our boats when we want to go catch them where they are, or
Right.
we lack of funds for one reason or another. So, we have to take the next step.
Right, you gotta-
best. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Getting out there and getting your line tugged on a little bit. So
Guaranteed.
right. So what times of the day have you been fishing? Have you been doing like early morning, like what?
I've been going out in the morning. Sometimes I go out about 7 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock, between 7 and say 9 o'clock is about
Right.
one of your best times. The noon time, we call it. Class will be letting out for recess here in a minute. Then you might get a hit here or a hit there, and give or take right about 5 o'clock, is they'll pick up again, and then they'll taper off right before dark.
So there's definitely so you're saying there's.
That's not to say that. Go ahead.
I'm saying so you're saying there's hot periods in the day where they'll bite better early, and then there's like a morning bite and an afternoon bite.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the area in which you're fishing in that's going to dictate that, because what I've seen was a lot of ships and barges coming through. A lot of times when your barges and ships are coming through, disturbing that water, it's almost like the catfish picks themselves up off the bottom and they come in and finding food.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to realize a lot of your big cats, at least the catfish that we was catching, they're full of corn.
Really?
So all the corn that is falling off the grain, they're eating.
Wow, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. So they're sitting at the grain elevator.
They're sitting at the grain elevator, man, eating corn.
Wow, that's interesting. So
That kind of makes you wonder: do I bring a can of corn or do I
Right.
bring my chicken and
Yeah,
garlic?
you gotta match the hatch. If they feeding on corn, then you gotta throw some corn out there, man. You might catch a monster.
Oh yeah.
You'll fool them.
The flatheads have been running. No
Really?
big size right now. I think you need some big bait, live bait for the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of 5-pounders have been caught out there, on the chicken and all for some strange reason. One guy told me he was using cut mullet and he wasn't getting any bites, which a lot of people love to use cut mullet. He wasn't catching anything. He sat out all day without a bite.
So chicken has been the
varies
hot.
from place to place.
Chicken has been the hot
Chicken has
bait.
been the hot tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, chicken with garlic and onion powder, man. It's been the ticket.
Right. All right. So yeah, that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. I'm gonna have to get out there and go try some catfishing in the river one of these. I might have to go at night though. I'm gonna try at night while it's cool, and go see how that works out.
And you know how the mosquitoes gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
You know they're big enough to rape a pig.
Yeah, man. You have to put on long sleeves and tough it out. I might
You're
go.
gonna have to wait till one of these.
I might go
One of
near.
these fronts comes through.
Yeah. I might go near the city too. It might be a little better near the city.
Oh, it could be. It could be. It could be. Very well be. But I try to stay away from the crowds. Man.
Right, I heard that. Yeah, the last time I went catfishing, I went on the moonwalk with my buddy Greg, and they had people out there. It was nighttime, but there's just people out there all night asking you questions and asking to borrow a cigarette. And I'm like, I don't even smoke, man. Get out of here. So yeah, you sound like you got a good spot out there. It's nice and peaceful at the fly.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. Well, the place where I'm fishing now, man, unfortunately, I promised the guy I wouldn't tell anyone.
Right.
So I'm at the hole.
Oh, so you got a secret hole.
Yeah, it's a secret hole, you know. I mean, I'm not even really supposed to go there unless he's there. So I try not to intrude on his.
Right, I heard that.
On that.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to mess my.
That's always the best way to go when somebody showed you something. You don't want to put it on blast like that. If they trusted you.
The fly is open to everyone. A lot of people go out there. If you can get on the sandbar, that'd be your best option, and jump on the sandbar and try to fish that. But hey man, they're ready, man.
All right.
The fish are biting.
All right, man.
So they can't get you.
Thanks for the report.
Can't catch other fish.
Thanks for the report.
All right.
All right.
Don't let me hold you up.
Good talking to you, man.
You too.
Thanks, Hayes. You have to check in more often and let us know what's going on.
I can do that. Next Wednesday, look for me.
All right, we'll see what you got next Wednesday. Catch that 100-pounder.
Amen.
All right, bud.
Oh no, man. Too much for me.
Too much? Oh, okay. Well, keep them smart.
That 60-pounder she caught, man, was hard enough to deal with.
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine. That's a big fish. 60 pounds. That's huge.
Yeah, he was huge. He was huge.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, get back to the show, man.
All right,
I'll
man.
get back with you.
Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
You too.
All right, so yeah, that's Hayes. He was excited about catching those cats. He's been catching some nice cats in the river. And I also just got a text from Josh. He says that he's been doing well in the river too. So we might have to do like a catfishing meetup. We might do it one night or something like that. We'll go out there and see if we can hook up on some big kitties. One of the craziest spots I ever seen to catch catfish was down here in Venice at the Cypress Cove. Not Cypress Cove. What's the name of this place? Yeah, is that Cypress Cove? I can't remember now. What's the name of this? Yeah, Cypress Cove at the cleaning tables right here. There are some huge catfish that hang out like right here at this cleaning table. But you gotta be ready. Like there's some monsters. And the tide, not the tide, but the current of the river right here. Current of the river right here pumps right through here. But yeah, there's some monsters. I've seen this dude after the Falling Tide tournament one year. He had stacked up a whole pier cart full of like 30, 40-pound cats. What up, Charles? Yeah, man, we're gonna get that together then. We're gonna do that. Maybe in the next coming weeks or two. We're gonna get somebody who knows what they're doing to come out with us and teach us about catfishing. The river. We're gonna do that. Hook it up. We'll bring some brews and some. We'll bring Hayes chicken and we'll grill chicken and fish with chicken at the same time. Wait, Colin says Blacktip H did that. He fished for catfish at Cypress Cove? Oh, my secret spot is out. The secret is out. Yeah. I need to find some speckled trout though. I haven't caught a speckled trout in like 2 months. It's scary. I really believe the population's declining. So Francis said that Mississippi made a size limit change a while back, and he's seen some positive results. The size of the trout have increased. Yeah, man, we're gonna do that then. We're gonna get together. We're gonna get it together. I think I'm gonna lean on my buddy Josh. And we'll see what Hayes is doing too. We'll see if we can get him to come out, teach us about show us how it's done. I don't know nothing about catfishing. All I know about catfish, you put bait on there and you throw it out and just wait. So I know there's definitely some nuances to it. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. I'm kind of out of stuff to talk about now. What else I want to talk about? Oh, the weekend weather. Not looking too good for this weekend. At least that's what I saw. We're supposed to get that little tropical storm or whatever. Supposed to come into the Gulf. When is that? Sunday? Saturday? Saturday's going to be pretty windy too. 10, 11 mile per hour wind from the east. Sunday is supposed to be 50% chance of rain and a 15 mile per hour wind from like the east, northeast. So yeah, that storm is going to affect us a little bit the coming this weekend. It's already been kind of windy lately. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to rain till Sunday. Sunday's your highest chance of rain. I mean, it's probably doable Saturday though. It says like 10 mile, 11 mile, 13 mile an hour winds. If you go early, it should be doable to catch a few fish. I mean, it's always possible to catch fish. You just got to go out. Old Jordan coming through with the hot report. Caught 6 10.5 to 11-inch trout Monday near Seabrook area on the east side of the airport pilings. Interesting. I don't doubt that they're there. It's getting to be that time of year. I think I said this last week. Historically, like that first week of September, it would turn on. The trout would just show up magically. You could fish the week before and not catch anything, and then like 7th, 8th, and 9th of September, the trout would just be there. That sounds like a good promising report. If I ever get off work early enough to go after work, I'm going to go try that. I'll go and play around in the hole out there in Seabrook. I'm ready to get on the trestle. That's what I'm looking forward to this fall. If the trout ever like really come in. Get on that trestle and jig the trestle. I haven't done that. I don't think I got out that all this spring. I was fooling with the boat. All right, anybody got any questions, comments, considerations? I don't know what else you want to say. Suggestions? How can we make this more interesting, better for you guys? Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. Facebook, whatever. Jordan, stacks of 17 to 19-inch reds on the sand flats between South Shore Harbor and Irish Bayou. Yeah, that's something I've heard. I heard they were doing really well on the reds out there. I know this spring they were smashing them. They were smashing them all around this area. High River, of course, the High River gonna push them out, Colin. The High River is gonna relocate fish that would normally be in these areas, you know. But yeah, this shoreline right here from the airport to the trestle is a really underutilized shoreline. There's a lot of fish that get on this shoreline that people don't. It's not really near anything. People don't really fish it a lot. But there's definitely fish. This shoreline and this shoreline right here. I don't know how many people fish this shoreline, but they're both pretty good. This one too. This rock line right here. Oh my! I've had some good days fishing these rocks. Coming out of Chef Pass, going up to Irish Bayou. There's a lot of reds there. Yeah, if I ever sit down and edit, Gustavo, I got footage of that jack. I got footage of those jacks, and I one of these days I'll sit down and finish editing that video. I got it pretty much clipped out. It'll probably take me like a couple hours to finish it up. Thanks 713, buddy. Definitely fish to be caught. Is the river supposed to have a positive effect on the speckled trout? I don't know. It seems like it have a positive effect on the bait. The bait is like crazy, crazy thick everywhere you go right now. Like on the trip yesterday, we saw like tons of shrimp, saw tons of mullet, pogies, like literally everything a fish could want. We just didn't see tons of like fish feeding on them. Good tips for catching jacks. I don't. What's the secret to catching jacks? Let's see. Throw a silver casting spoon. They sell like a 6-inch silver spoon. I mean, I guess it depends on the size of the jacks you catching, but a silver spoon, appropriately sized silver spoon, that's a pretty deadly jack bait. That's like the official bait for catching jacks. Maybe in Florida you got to be a little more natural with it though. Maybe try just a regular soft plastic, something more natural. If the water's super clean. I never really had that problem here in Louisiana. But yeah, those silver spoon. You can't really get a Pet 19 anywhere, Jordan. That's the problem. I would say I would have got to order those on eBay used. I've been fishing Seabrook a little bit. I've been seeing those schools of pogies, but I haven't really seen anything eating them. Silver is, probably not. Something chrome and shiny probably will work. It don't have to be silver, but I just prefer silver. Match the hatch a little bit, a mullet silver, pogie silver. Oh yeah, that's true too. They probably do have all kind of different baits in Florida they sell. Probably got better tackle shops, bigger variety. But yeah, the popper is always good. Man, who's Jordan Montgomery? Well, I don't know you, Jordan. You seem like you fish like similar areas that I fish. And you know stuff. We're gonna have to take a trip, Jordan. Nah, the flounder run in Lake Pontchartrain kind of dried up. I think it has to do with the closing of the Mr. Go. But seems like the best flounder years are behind the lake. The last time I really remember a flounder run was like 2013. It all coincided with like the closing up of the Mr. Go. But this year there seems, I don't know if this is official, but it seems like there's been a little uptick of flounder being caught. So I don't know, maybe we might get a little run, but I have been seeing a lot of people posting flounder caught. Well, all right, that's what. All right, yeah, I know those names. Jordan. So yeah, we probably have seen each other fish together maybe in the past. I just don't know you. Yeah, Gustavo, maybe just try like a 4-inch spoon, 3-inch spoon. Something more manageable for those smaller fish. What's up with the trout and Grand Isle? I don't know, man. I haven't been to Grand Isle. Anybody been down to Grand Isle lately? Anybody still here? I'm sure they down there. Probably start fishing the bridges down in Grand Isle, Joe. Or just go down and fish the lights. Yeah, that's what Jordan is saying. Jordan's saying fish Haynes, fish the beach, fish Haynes area. They got tons of reds. Need tips on how to catch fish. What kind of fish you trying to catch, Mark? I don't even know. What I can give you some tips if you tell me what you're trying to do. If you're in Louisiana, the probably most foolproof way to catch a fish is go buy some live shrimp. You're going to catch a fish. Put it on a hook, throw it in the water. You're going to catch something. There's another tip, yeah. Cast your line into the water. Whatever you got, put it in the water. That's the number one rule of fishing. Any saltwater fish? Yeah, well, there, that's the ticket right there. Yeah, if you want to catch catfish, we got a good report to go to the fly and fish with some chicken. Yeah, dead shrimp. Oh, you like soft plastics? Well, I don't know, man. You gotta be in the right areas. Wait, what? You just gotta be in the right areas with the soft plastics, man. You gotta just fish around and keep that plastic in the water. Try to put it in front of as many fish as you can. Wait, what you saying, Joe? The study is not accurate? I don't know, bro. The Berkeley goat. All right, well, the most foolproof way that I've learned to catch fish, the most foolproof way to learn to catch fish on plastic in Louisiana I've found is to use just a 3/8 ounce jig head. Put your bait, your shrimp on there. I don't have a shrimp right now. Oh wait, here we go. Here, take your plastic. Put it on your jig head, just like that. You want it to be straight, and you want the bow to be to the bottom. And you want to cast it out and just let it hit the bottom. So let your lure hit the bottom, and then you just want to like kind of drag it on the bottom. Keep your lure on the bottom. And eventually you're gonna catch a fish. That's like the most foolproof way to do it. Bonneville boat launch. Bonneville boat launch probably is not the best place to fish right now. So there we go. Now we get some details. So you fishing Lake Pontchartrain. So if you're fishing Lake Pontchartrain, Places I would recommend to bank fish in Lake Pontchartrain right now. So you fishing Bonneville. I would go a little further east. Go back towards New Orleans a little bit. Maybe fish the mouth of the Orleans Canal right here. Fish out the mouth right here, and then you can come back on these rocks. There's usually some bass or maybe reds. If you can get back in here, there's usually some bass along this wall right here, but that's not a saltwater fish, so I don't know. Where else would you go? The mouth of the London Avenue Canal. This is always a good spot for me. This is one of my favorite spots. Right behind UNO. Usually I used to like to park right behind here, UNO, park down at the end, and then walk. You can just walk the steps, fish along here, fish along this side, walk back in here. There's usually some reds, bass, a little bit of everything. And coming up on this time of year, there's usually going to be some fish back there. Yeah, there probably are some reds. Like, all right, so here's a secret. I used to fish this little bend back here. There's like a flat. There's a flat back here, and there's usually some grass growing. There's usually some grass growing. So you can walk, you can park like on the street, hop the levee, fish back in this corner. There's usually some reds hanging back here. Well, there used to be reds. I don't know nothing about offshore, Andy. Hold on, where's Andy at? Andy had asked a question earlier. Going this weekend down to Grand Isle. I don't know, man. I haven't been down to Grand Isle. I haven't been to Grand Isle in a while. But park where the cars are parked. Just pull off and just try a bunch of spots when you're driving down Grand Isle. That's all I do. If you see something promising, birds diving, action, bait. Steelhead? What? That's new. I'm gonna have to go down there and get my fly rod. Yeah, there've been a lot of sheephead. A lot of sheephead along the seawall. Live shrimp. Live shrimp is the ticket for the sheephead. I probably wasn't supposed to tell nobody that, but I told y'all that last week. Where else could you go fish off the bank? If you want to go and be adventurous, go drive down Highway 90, cross Chef Pass. They got these little driveways down here you can drive down, like this one right here. And fish off the bank down here. There's usually some fish to be caught down this way. Fish at your own risk. Sheephead, man. You know Joe wasn't talking about a steelhead in the lake. Joe is an expert Lake Pontchartrain bank fisherman. Man, leave Joe alone. What time? Earlier the better. It's hot right now. You want to get out there before the sun comes up and go fishing. You need to get out there early. The fish know it too. The fish feel that heat. Y'all crazy. What up, Nate? Y'all crazy. Leave Joe alone. Joe catch anything. He don't care what it is. He gonna catch it. Uh-oh, Jordan put the invitation out there. Make a quick trip at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Man, I wish I probably can't even plan on getting out there at that time. I'm probably not gonna get off work till after that. I'll pass out there though at the launch and see if you're coming in. Joe meant sheephead. He didn't mean steelhead. That was the autocorrect. You know that they make phones. The people who make autocorrect is from up north. They don't know about sheephead. Yeah, bro, get you some live bait. Ah, Nate, that sounds similar to my trip yesterday. We went out in Lake Bourne and there was shrimp popping. There was some nice shrimp popping, like some big ones. There was shrimp, mullets, pogies. We caught, 3 of us caught like 5 reds all day. But that was probably our fault. More so than the fish's fault. No beer on the street. This is not beer. This is I don't know, something else. Root beer. Seltzer water. All right, guys. It's about to be an hour and a half. I'm on here. Hey, Joe, call the number. Joe, call in. 504-534-5040. Call in, Joe. Oh, what happened? I lost everything. Ooh. We didn't keep no fish. We threw all the fish back. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get off of here. We messing around now. Only fish I got some reds from like 3 weeks ago in the freezer. Because I'm a Louisiana boy. I keep my fish. Sometimes. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out. Wait, never mind. We're getting a call in. We're getting a call.
Call from.
Whoa,
what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Another day in paradise as usual.
Oh, I heard that. So you went
I
out.
just want to give a quick tip to everybody because I know everyone keeps talking about fishing off the bank, and there's so few spots on where to go off to. I don't have the stream pulled up, but you know where Deanie's on Haynes is?
Yeah.
So there's a vacant lot right beside it. You can actually park there. If you got some kind of wading gear, you can park there and you can walk on the other side of Haynes, and there's the bridge right there that goes over the levee wall.
Right.
And that's South Shore Harbor, and that's where I've been wade fishing.
Oh, you've been wade fishing back there, all right.
Yeah, it's 2 feet up until you get to the mouth of the channel.
Right.
So the whole area, top water, jigs, whatever you can think of. The redfish have been real thick up there.
Really, that's a good tip, man. That's A1 right there, y'all. Everybody who hung out late in this show got a pro tip.
Let everybody know.
All right, man.
Yeah. All right, y'all take care. I'm out.
All right, man. Thanks for checking in. Peace.
No worries, brother.
All right, well, y'all heard that. The man said they got redfish. You got to go walk in the water to get them, though. Redfish are good eating? Hell yeah, Mark. You must be new down here. Redfish are good eating. Pretty much everything we got down here is good eating. If you know how to cook it right. But yeah, so look, Mark, you were asking for a spot. There you go. The man gave you the spot. This is Deanie's on Haynes restaurant. Here, we're going to go and zoom in. We're going to be like the little man on the road. Let's see. There we go. This is what he's talking about. So we got Deanie's Seafood right there. You pull over there. See where that truck is right there? Let's see. There's a lot right there. You can park in this lot, and then you can walk under there. Wait, where is it? We're going to zoom out. Exit. We're going to walk under there. Under the bridge right there, there's some stairs to get across the levee. Where are they? I cannot see. Oh, there they are. They're right there. You can't really see them. They're right in the distance. But yeah, so there's some stairs right there. Right here, there's a stairwell. So basically, you park here, you walk under to the stairwell, walk across onto the rocks, and you can wade fish. You can see how shallow it is in this picture right here. This is probably from the winter time, but this is nothing but hard sand, and you can walk. You can see they were driving a tractor on this shit. But you can walk all this whole area, walk all the way out to here, walk to these rocks, and walk on these rocks all the way out here if you wanted to. But I've done that in the past. But yeah, there's a decent amount of reds. It's really grassy up in here now though, so it doesn't look like bare mud. So you're gonna be walking through grass. But there you go. Pro tip from a pro. So all right, guys, there you go. I'm gonna leave y'all with that on the ending out note. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all learned something. See y'all next Wednesday at 8:30. Appreciate y'all for keeping the chat live. Wait, where is that? I'm gonna show y'all right here. Look, oh, look at all those comments. Y'all were very active tonight. So thank y'all for making this a show. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday, 8:30. We're gonna talk about something fishing related. It's not that far from UNO, Mark. It's like 5 minutes. This is UNO. This UNO. This is Deanie's. Like right there. It's like 3 miles. All right, Dan. Have a good night, everybody. Peace, love, and soul.